Welcome to Baronmag Interviews. This is your host, Leonardo Calcagno.
Hello, my name is Alexis Normand. I'm a musician from Saskatchewan. I have two projects, a French project under my name called Alexis Normand, and I'm also a member of a band called Rosie and the Riveters.
Excellent. We're at the Folk Fest and Folk North, here in Toronto. Can you tell me a little bit about the event here? Because I know you're a new member of the board.
So Folk North is a kind of boutique event, a boutique kind of conference event focused on exporting Canadian folk music. So a lot of the delegates, many of them are international delegates, either from the States or the US or Europe. And we have a whole bunch of showcasing artists as well. I think there's about over 20, maybe about 25 showcasing artists over the weekend. It's a small conference, 150 people all together, and I remember this is our second edition, and I was there last year too, and I remember really enjoying it because of its intimacy, and after a day and a half, you don't really know who's sitting on which side of the table anymore, who's buying, who's selling. It was really more about relationship and about music, and to me that's a stepping stone to building really strong foundations and strong relationships in the industry.
Why is it so important to have an event like this?
I think an event like this really gives an opportunity to showcase the wonderful talent we have here in Canada. It's very, Canada is a very diverse country. We have Francophone artists and Indigenous artists and all kinds of, folk could mean so many things. It means trad, it means singer-songwriter. It can kind of shine out onto many genres, and an event like this kind of puts the focus on it and helps Canada shine for international markets.
Okay, so let's talk now about your projects.
Sure.
Can you tell me about your projects, please? The French one and the English one?
Okay, well, my French one is like kind of jazz folk music.
Okay.
I released a new record last year, but it's kind of a side project for me.
Why is that?
Because I'm in another band called Rosie and the Riveters. That takes up more time.
Okay.
So, I don't know, my French project is released on a record in Montreal called Les de la Cordonnerie, and a lot of the songs were co-written with a lot of francophones from Quebec, namely Mathieu Lipane. I wrote a song, and I worked with Daniel Beaumont as well, a lyricist, and one of my great old pals, Daniel Lavoie. We did a duo on the record, a song that talks about the prairies, and so that's pretty fun.
So how was working with Daniel Lavoie?
It's pretty nice. He's a very generous and very talented, and just a nice guy.
With a guy like Daniel Lavoie, what does he bring to the table when you do a duet with him?
Well, he brings a whole lot of experience, that's for sure, and a great ear, and there's an ease. You can tell he's been doing this for a long time. Laying down vocal tracks wasn't too challenging for him. It wasn't for me either. Thankfully, I wrote the song, so I knew it well. But I think also because we're both from the prairies, from Western Canada, there was sort of that common thread that is at the heart of that song, and that he also brought vocally in his interpretation to it. So
Okay.
it's a nice little tune.
Can you give me how's the scene up there in the prairies for the folk music?
In French or in English or both?
Both.
Oh, well, the French music industry is budding. It's definitely, there are a lot of passionate people working in the industry out west, presenters and community organizations and artists and new businesses like agencies and stuff trying to get things going, and it is moving slowly, but it is moving. And there's a lot of folk music out there, whether it's in French or in English. I remember one of the first times I played folk clubs in Calgary. I was astonished at the folk community in Calgary. They still have folk clubs and the membership is really strong. And a few years ago I went to one, and the artistic director said, oh yeah, we have a 2-year waiting list for our folk club.
2 years ago.
2 years, and it's they attract 200, their membership 200, it's full, 200 people in their community halls, and these are avid folk fans.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something else. It kind of reminds me of a family reunion, all these long tables set up perpendicularly to the stage, and the regulars have their spot, and they arrive really early because it's rush seating so that they get their spot in the room, and they love to sing, and they're very warm. They're used to being audience members, and they want to participate, and it's really warm. It's one of the best experiences as an artist to perform for for those kinds of audiences.
And for the Anglo section?
Well, yeah, so that's an example of an Anglophone
Okay,
folk
good.
club. I guess I was speaking generally there about both.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's missing for an artist like you to grow outside Canada? Because some events like this is to help you out to grow outside Canada, even in Canada. But what is missing besides money?
In French or in English? Because I feel like there's two different industries and they
Let's
have different
say
challenges.
English now.
English. Okay. What's missing? Oh man, it's easier to figure out what's missing in French in Western Canada than in
Go
English.
ahead, let's learn French.
Well, in French there's less industry, like agents. Industry players. Like
Okay, good.
there are festivals, there are a couple agents, but there aren't really any managers. The venues aren't all professional venues, so there's kind of a need for la professionnalisation of the industry. In some ways. I think that kind of infrastructure would help develop the talent, especially the younger talent in Western Canada, to make them export ready. Whereas on the English side, I feel like there are those kinds of opportunities that exist. So it's just, I don't know. My English band is being exported. We've toured the United States. We're looking to Europe next year. So I think it's just a matter of working hard and being strategic and keep on showcasing.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.